Hello and welcome to the sideboard here at SCG-DC. I am here with former Mind Sculptor and current Architect of Thought, David Jace McDarby. How you doing?
Hey, good. How you doing, Ruben?
Pretty good.
Awesome.
And you're playing a deck that sort of rose to popularity immediately after Innistrad came out.
Mm-hmm.
Hasn't really done a whole lot recently, but you've brought it back, and you're doing well so far. You're playing Solar Flare.
Solar Flare, yeah. Harken back to the days of old of Sun Tightening your Imperial Rights, or the other way around, yeah.
So tell me a little bit about how the deck functions.
Well, it's kind of got the Esper control shell of Verdicts and some spot removal in the form of Azorius Charm and Tragic Slip. And then you got Augur Bowls to buy some time, and eventually either you can just hardcast your Angel Serenity, or you can Unburial Rights them, wherever that card is.
It's right there.
Right there. And cheat a fatty into play in the form of the Angel or Grizzlebrand, G-Rizzle. And you've got Lingering Souls for value that you can hit off of your Forbidden Alchemy or your Thought Scours to buy time before you get to your end game that is supposedly better than your opponent's, hopefully.
Sure. Yeah, that's the goal.
That's the goal, yeah.
Now you're running Liliana in a non-mid-range shell, which we haven't seen in pretty much any format, because Liliana is the thing to cascade into with Bloodbraid Elf. It's the thing to play with Deathrite Shaman in all the formats.
Yeah.
But it's in your control deck.
Yes.
Partially for the discard because you're allowed to get value off of your Unburial Rights.
Yeah, well, the problem with Reanimator decks is sometimes you get stuck with your Reanimatees in hand. And the only real looting effect that you have to go from your hand to your graveyard in the Esper colors is Liliana and the Veil.
Right, because the other ones are Thought Scour and Forbidden Alchemy are the only other ways to cheat things, and those are on top of your deck.
Sure, yeah, but like if you get stuck with like a hand of like 3 angels, you're like, what do I do? And Liliana's the only way you can pitch them in these colors.
Right.
Yeah.
So you have, in addition to the 3 angels, you also have some other singleton creatures that are good reanimation targets. I'm going to run over them real quick. Obsidat.
Yes, the Ghost Father 2.0.
Yep, that's the Ghost Dad. Ghost Council, as I've heard him referred, is he's not easy to cast, but he's castable.
Yeah, he's fine to cast. I have 3 non-dual land cards. Sure, if I have a hand with both Vault of the Archangels in it, things are going to be awkward, but that's what you sign up for when you want blue on 2, double black on 3, and double white on 4.
Sure.
It's going to happen.
So, but Obsidat doing work for you so far.
Yeah, he is actually very solid. Like, you can just cast him on 5, or just reanimate him if you don't have a super big, powerful fatty to get.
Yep. Speaking of super big, powerful fatties, you've got Grizzlebrand.
I do.
One of them.
Yes.
Mr. Tin Fins himself. Tell me a little bit about Grizzlebrand and why you're reanimating him in Standard.
In Standard, well, he and I go way back. Back in the days of Sneak and Show, you may know, from Legacy. It's a deck I like to play a lot. Well, when you wanted a big, humongous guy, he really, he does the call. He answers the call. I don't have Avacyn, but I've got Grizzlebrand.
Sure.
So it just, like, some people just wanted a 4th Angel Serenity, but in this deck, you don't have Thragtusk and stuff to rebuy to get value with your Angel. You have, like, some dinky Augurs and, like, an Obsidat, which is fine. So I wanted a 4th fatty, and he is not only fun, but just, like, stops decks cold. Like, what are they going to do?
Absolutely. He's a really good trump for the Esper Control Mirror.
Sure, yeah.
The other singleton creature you have in the deck is Evil Twin. Seems really good against other Angel Serenity decks.
Yes, that's actually what I wanted. I was thinking about playing Sever, the Bloodline, for Angel Serenity itself, but this is like a Sever that I can rebuy with my Umbrella Rights. And I also can just clone a Thragtusk for value, or like copy a Reckoner and then they have to kill it, or I can kill their Reckoner.
Exactly. Like,
he's been sweet.
Being able to start your own Angel Serenity loops at 4 mana, as opposed to having to go through 7s, or even starting your own Thragtusk loops at 5 while they have to spend 4 mana. That seems pretty good.
Yeah, just like any clone, like, gives you so much play. You can do sort of wonky, weird things and finagle a victory out of it.
Right. And you have another copy of Obsidat and Evil Twin in the sideboard, but you've got some more interesting things, for me at least, in the sideboard. The one that I really want to point out is Planner Cleansing.
Yeah.
Which has become the norm for Esper Control.
Sure.
Why has Planner Cleansing suddenly become the preferred method of dealing with things in Esper?
Well, against the aggro decks, we're going to board into Planeswalkers to kill you in the form of Garrick, Big, Small, Domri, Raid, like anybody. And like I can pressure them sort of with Lingering Souls, but not all the time. So sometimes I just want the hard reset button that just kills everything. And in this deck, it also serves the dual purpose of sometimes killing their Gravedigger's Cage or Rest in Peace. If they had that in play and have some creatures, and I can still use my Graveyard shenanigans. So that's pretty much why. And I don't have Detention Spheres. I have Liliana, sure, but like she's probably not going to be in the board by the time I'm playing Cleansing.
Sure. Now, one of the more interesting cards to me that I've seen a couple people play this weekend, I think people just forgot that it was a Magic card, is Purify the Grave. Why has Purify the Grave, why is that a popular choice this weekend? Why are you playing it this weekend?
I'm playing it because I can't run Rest in Peace. As it turns out, Umbrella Rides is a bit of a nombo with that.
Sure.
And it combos with my Augur of Bolus. I can find it, or I've got Thought Scour and Forbidden Alchemy, which I can mill it and then use it to get them. The problem with Purify the Grave, it's pretty good against all the Reanimator decks, getting the Unburial Rites or the creature's targeting, but against Human Reanimator, they can just cast Range of Glorious Rise, and then you get one guy and you're probably still dead to all the rest of their humans.
But the Human Reanimator is slightly less popular.
Hopefully,
recently.
Yeah.
And people, I think, just forgot how to play around Purify the Grave. They just forgot that it was a magic card.
It's one of those rare and hate cards you don't see all the time, but it's still there. It exists.
Yep.
He's playing Legacy a little bit. You can Entomb it or whatever.
Absolutely. So currently you're 1-0.
Yeah, one match.
And we'll be keeping tracking throughout the day. But
this deck's very fun, yeah.
It looks like a ton of fun. And if you want to be reanimating Gristlebrand in all the formats,
all the formats,
we got one for you. So thank you so much, David.
Thank you, Ruben. Yeah.